What is up, Perichoresis? It is Monday, January 29. Welcome to the Daily Dance. It's a brand new week. I hope your week is starting out like most epic. We are in part 11 of the Movement series, the series that honestly it's going to be 2 months, January and February, because we really want to take time here at the very beginning of 2018 and focus on change, on movement, personal growth, personal change, and what can we do as a group and as a community working together to change people's life for the better. So we're in part 11. If you remember from last week, if you haven't watched any of the videos, go back, watch last week's, because we're talking about the fruits of the Spirit. Because Jesus says, before you leave and before you do anything, don't leave until you have the gift. And the gift is the Holy Spirit. And what we were talking about last week was, if you remember, like, what does that even mean, right? To live with the Holy Spirit. And so when we look at the book of Galatians, Paul takes some time and breaks down what it actually looks like to live with the Holy Spirit. Today, we're talking about this word that Paul uses. And what's interesting is that it only shows up 3 times in all of the New Testament. It's a word that we translate into English. In all of your English translated Bibles, the word is kindness, a fruit of the Spirit, a way that you know kind of what it looks like to live and walk life with the Holy Spirit is that you and we will experience kindness. But like, what does kindness even mean? The word that Paul uses, kindness, it literally means to meet someone's real, actual needs in God's way and in God's time. Let's just think about that for a second. Like, let's marinate in this thought. Kindness means to meet someone's actual, real needs in God's way and in God's time. Kindness is more than just doing something that's nice or doing something good for someone else. It's more than the actual activity of doing something, but it has more to do with the motive, the motivation behind the action. Are we doing something nice because we want to look good? Are we doing something nice because we think maybe we'll get something out of it? Or are we doing something nice? Are we meeting someone's actual need because it benefits them at a time that benefits and is best for them? So, kindness, walking with the Spirit, meeting people's actual needs. So just think about that. Like today, Monday, at the beginning of a week, like how is a way we can live by the Spirit, walk with the Spirit, actually meet people's needs, but not in a way that benefits us or makes us look good, or in our time what's convenient and good for us, but actually at a time and in a way that is best for them. So that's the challenge. For me, what immediately comes to mind, I think back, and I know I'm old, so that's okay. I think back 32 years to 1986. I know, 1986. It was a magical time, the 80s. Google it. So in 1986, I was in first grade, and I remember going and checking out like an academy day, Hinsdale Junior Academy's like visitors day. So I went with all the little first graders and hanging out. Mrs. Webb was the teacher that day, and I can clearly remember the faces and the kids in that first grade class as I went to check it out. The thing was, in 1986, when I was 6 years old, I didn't know how to tie my shoes. So it was gym class, and I'm not a student, right? I'm a visitor checking out the class, checking out the school. And Mr. Moore was the coach, and we're playing this game. We're running around having fun in the gym like you do when you're in first grade, and all of a sudden my shoe comes untied. And I don't know how to tie my shoe. And I forget the game we were playing, but I know I was running around, but because my shoe was untied, like I recognized, okay, this is kind of dangerous. So just because I was aware or whatever, I go to sit out. Like right there, all the kids are having fun, running around, whatever, in the gym. I go to sit out because my shoe's untied, and at 6 years old, I did not know how to tie my shoes. And then, just a couple minutes later, comes Andrew Bendler. Andrew Bendler, he comes over and he says, "Hey, do you want your shoe tied?" And I said, yeah, like I don't know how to tie them. And so Andrew, even in first grade, he takes himself out of the game, takes the time, and ties my shoes for me. And he's like, okay, now come play. He met an actual need, something that I needed, at a time that was not convenient for him, but it was convenient for me. Andrew Bendler in that moment showed me kindness. So, how does that look like for you today? Wherever you go to school, however old you are, may we today think about this idea of living kindness, showing kindness, being kindness for someone today, walking with the Spirit, meeting someone's actual need at a time that God would do it. And just think about it. You just take a second, you look at the world, you look at the news, you drive down the streets. Doesn't that make sense? Maybe what would actually help our planet is if we all started to show a little more kindness.